All right, let's end with the topic I am most excited for in Sleepers media history. We're going to play a game of Worst Take. This is inspired by our good friend Aaron Torres, who had one of the worst takes we have ever heard, that Purdue is only good because they get foul calls at an unbelievable rate that makes no sense. There's no reason Purdue should be winning the foul margin. Crazy, right? Worst take ever. We're going to play our own worst take. If we were doing what Aaron Torres is doing and we were out to just bait a fan base into obviously disagreeing with something that is obviously wrong for the sake of making headlines, what would our worst take be? What's your worst take, Cart?
I think I just made a mistake, but I'm going to go through with it. I just want, after that monologue by you, I want to change it. Because I want to antagonize.
Oh,
Antagonize.
wait. Can I pause you?
Yes.
So I want you to come up with a second one then, because I think I did what you did. I came up with a take that felt like I wasn't antagonizing enough. So then I came up with a second one that feels a lot better to me. So we could both deliver our worst takes that are a little more lovey-dovey first, and then get to an antagonistic one if you can come up with one.
Oh, okay. All right. Let's do that. All right. So this is my non-antagonistic one.
Okay.
So Michigan State 3-point percentage obviously has been a huge issue, right? And I think that comes down to two things. One, if you go by a game basis and you look at each player, when they attempt a three, by it not going in the basket, it does not count, which therefore negatively affects their percentage. So that in turn makes sure that this team doesn't shoot the ball well from three. But that's not the only thing that's not helping this team shoot well from three. Greg, what motivates you for, sleepers besides like the actual passion of the game? Isn't it like the fact that you are able to get maybe a little bit of money, right? Maybe a little bit of something on the side to reward you for your efforts, basically,
Yeah,
right?
sure.
We have a coach who is anti-reward, don't reward the players. Why do I want to make threes if all I'm getting is University Wiener promos? Why am I not getting big commercials? Why do you want me to hit a three for you if I'm only getting a burger at Hopcat? That ain't doing it for me. Bring out the big bucks. I'm watching a walk-on who owns the biggest mortgage company in the NBA team, and I can't get a couple more dollars here and there. Maybe I'll hit a three then. That's how I feel.
So they need incentive-based salaries to start making threes. That's why Michigan State's a bad shooting team, is because their
Yes,
paychecks aren't cashing.
exactly. Why hitting threes for the good of the team and your percentage? No.
Okay. I like that. Yeah, maybe they went on one private jet trip to a playoff game and realized that they were sitting second row and not courtside, and got a little grumpy and said, "You know what? Let's take a stand. Okay, Jaden. Okay, AJ, let's work together. Let's stick it to Tom a little bit." I like that. I like that take. I'm surprised you felt like that wasn't antagonistic enough and you come up with another one. That's interesting to me. All right, make sure you take your time here. I'll give my non-antagonistic one, and then I'll do my antagonistic one, and then we'll go back to you. My non-antagonistic one is this. So Fran McCaffrey, Iowa, right? What do you think of when you think of Iowa basketball?
Fran McCaffrey.
Yeah, what would you associate like the way they play basketball with, like as a program? What do they stand for? What do they do poorly?
All offense, no defense.
Yeah, right. That's the Fran era. That's the narrative, right? That's the media wants to come out and say Iowa can't play any defense. Ugh, they're all offense, right? Yeah. Have you really watched Iowa basketball games? That's what I would ask you. Have you really watched? To those that say that Iowa doesn't play defense, have you watched the games? Because what I see, Carter, I see a generational offense. I see one of the best offenses in college basketball history. I see an offensive genius in Fran McCaffrey. I see someone who has done more for the game on that end of the court, the offensive end of the court, than any coach in college basketball history. Of course the defense is going to look bad. You know why the defense looks bad? Because the defense has to guard the Iowa offense 7 days a week. Most defenses only guard Iowa once a calendar year, right? But no, not Iowa. Iowa has to show up. The only reason that Iowa offense is so good is because They work on it 7 days a week. The only reason that defense looks bad, it's not that they're bad. It's not that they're a bad defense. It's that they have to guard the Iowa offense so much.
That was very well done.
Thank you.
That was extremely well done.
Should we get to the? I feel like the ones we just did, I feel like were our weak spots. Should we get to the two big ones?
I feel like that was kind of antagonistic, but it's okay though.
Okay.
I'll get to this one.
Hold on. Let me reset because I'm going to clip this and I want to clip it all in one. This is a game of worst take. Okay. This is if we're just going out to Torres it and we're trying to just anger a fan base with the worst take we can come up with for baiting purposes. Here's our worst takes. What do you got, Cart?
Greg, are you familiar with the Breakfast Club interviews? You know, Breakfast Club. One of the most famous ones by one of the greatest, most creative rappers of our time, honestly, when we really get down to the nitty-gritty, Soulja Boy. Made the hit singles Crank That, Marco Polo, Pretty Boy Swag. The list goes on and on. Kiss Me Through the Phone, all-time classic. And he said these fateful words one day that always resonated with me and will always stick with me. And it went something like this. He stole my whole bleeping flow in regards to people stealing from him and stealing his whole swag and his whole game. Who's one of the best teams in the country this year that we talked about very multiple times?
I don't know.
Right now, I think the most complete and unbeatable team in college basketball is Arizona. And everyone wants to talk about how, it was basically Tommy Lloyd just stealing from it was basically just Tommy Lloyd was Gonzaga. That's why Gonzaga's struggling right now. Tommy Lloyd was a big part of Gonzaga's success. That's not the truth right now. Arizona is getting way too much credit for just being a copycat and stealing the flow of Gonzaga. That's all it really is. Everyone thinks it's so impressive. It's so great. They added Caleb Love. They added Kashad Johnson. It doesn't matter about the additions. They're playing the copycat league game, and they're doing it very well. But let's not act like this Arizona team is just all that in a bag of chips and so generational and the best team in the country. No, they're just a copycat team. That's all they did. Let's not, it ain't the NIL bag. It ain't Tommy Lloyd. It's the fact that they can copy extremely well. So that's all it is.
There's no originality. It's just
absolutely zero originality.
Mark Few should be getting the credit for this Arizona team.
100%.
Yeah, I think I agree. All right, here's
that's a fact too, by the way.
Cart, I've spent 30 years of my life building up to this moment. I believe this. I've just been, I don't know, I've been a little too afraid to say it. I've been afraid to speak my truth to the camera. And I think it's time we do this, Cart. Cart, if let's say if a top 10 team in the country that has a bunch of NBA guys on it, like if that team doesn't go to the Final Four, is that a good season?
If they have a bunch of NBA guys?
Like if you're a top 10 team in the country all season long and you have multiple players that are professionals in 3 months.
Yeah, I think
you don't make a Final Four. Is that a good season?
I don't think so, no.
Yeah, I don't think so. I think you should have aspirations of something bigger, right?
Mm-hmm.
Cart, there's a coach in college basketball that has missed the Final Four 19 times in his career. He's missed the Final Four more than any coach in recent college basketball history ever has. In fact, Carter, this coach has more losses than Bill Self, Roy Williams, Tom Izzo, John Wooden. He has so many losses, Carter. Coach K is actually the worst coach in college basketball history. I mean, objectively, just stating a fact. I'm just stating a fact. He has more losses than Bill Self and Roy Williams and Tom Izzo and John Wood. Why? Point me to why. Why would a great coach have more losses than those coaches? 19 times. He did not make a Final Four. Why? Don't good teams win basketball games? Not lose basketball games? Coach K, worst coach. That's just a fact.
The game is about wins and losses, is it not?
what I've been told.
Coach K has a lot of them, doesn't he?
A fact, not an opinion.
Nasty behavior.
Crazy. This is fun. I like
It's fun.
this.
We should make this a thing.